I do not promote the use of any illegal substances. This video has been made strictly for educational purposes.
This is a follow-up video for the last video that I released about my first 5-MeO experience that I actually got on camera. Now, prior to that, I had used the medicine a number of times, but this was the first time that I actually decided to film myself. I had no idea what I was going to do with the footage at the time. I just decided, hey, what the hell? Who knows what this could turn into? And that was a couple years ago. So it has been, almost 2 years since that experience. But I do recall, after watching the footage, I do recall that experience. I will say that having the camera above the bed, I had a GoPro above, which the footage I didn't use, but looking up and seeing the camera while on the medicine, it really drew my attention to it. I recently did 5-MeO 3-4 days ago now, and I remember coming out of that thinking, the cameras are a part of me. They are me. It's my experience. It's everything. But I'm a lot further along now than I was 2 years ago, or at least I like to tell myself that. Anyway, back to, my experience. So I tried to take the medicine prior to what was shown in the video. So I took a hit, and I went and lied on the bed, and I waited and waited, and I didn't have anything. I clearly didn't take enough. So I hopped off the bed, and that's the video that I showed, the footage that I showed. So I took my hit, I went and lied down again, and I was half expecting not to have enough again. But then it rushed up, and then I'm trying to hold it in as long as I can. Just hold, and then as I release, it was just a wave of energy releasing from my body. And then I started doing the toning, just making the repetitive tones. Every breath I took, I would release it in an energetic way, in a dramatic way, so that it was just releasing. There was no visuals or anything like that. 5-MeO, in my experience, isn't really like that. I've had cool kaleidoscopic visuals or fractal visuals, but nothing really entertaining. It's not really, I'm not doing this to be entertained by any stretch of the imagination. I guess in the grand scheme of things it is, but my personal direction is to heal. So I'd have these releases, and they've slowly subsided, and then I cut out a chunk in the middle. It said 5 minutes later if you watched it, and really nothing happened. It was just me lying there, maybe a little twitching or whatever, but nothing substantial. I don't want to waste your time. And then the legs started vibrating near the end of the journey. My legs were really dramatically vibrating. They were probably more dramatically vibrating than any other time. I've done it many times since then. The energy was moving through me, and I notice when I'm vibrating, the actual energy within me is trying to align itself, and it's simultaneously releasing energy that is foreign to my natural state. It's not who I truly am. So the energy that's being released could be, self-doubt or pain or stories that I tell myself, I'm not good enough, or this person crossed me, or I don't like this person because of X, Y, and Z. I'm not exactly thinking it as the energy is releasing, but it's just releasing, and those are the kind of things that get released along the way. Now, you can have experiences, as I have had, where you're in it, and it feels like you're dying, and it feels like you are that pain. I've held onto this for 25 years, and it's the story that I've told myself, and I've wrapped my identity around it, and it is who I think I am. But as it gets released, it's crumbling away. But I am that experience that's being crumbled, as opposed to that's looking beyond that as awareness, as watching it crumble away. It's a lot easier to go through when I'm able to maintain the sense of awareness, because at that point it's just vibrating. I'm just vibrating. Stuff's happening. Stuff's aligning. Great. It's a lot simpler that way. So I'd have these vibrations, and my legs are going crazy, my arms are going crazy, and then it just reached a point where that was it. And then my arms dropped to the side, and that was it. And then from there, it was just smooth sailing. My hands would come up, and when it's like this, it's nice, and everything's flowing. There's no thoughts. I'm just aware that things are happening. And it's pleasant, because you're going downhill at that point. It's all smooth sailing. And then near the end, there's a break in my symmetry. And that's when I know the ego is back. Just doing it enough times to know that this is when it's very subtle, but it comes back. When I first started working with it, I remember having the experience of coming back into my ego and not even remembering what had just happened. And my hands were up here, and I was doing the thing. I was actually doing the thing. That's cool. And then I'd try and replicate it, but I couldn't replicate it. There was effort to make it symmetrical, and it would never be as symmetrical as I would make it, even though it seems so simple to just move your hands simultaneously mirroring themselves. But now there's just this flow that's effortless, and it keeps getting effortless, keeps getting more effortless. What am I talking about? It is effortless. And it's just effortless. It's being aware. It's almost like meditating and focusing on your breath, but the breath and the hands work simultaneously. And there's just awareness, and it's happening. There's no thoughts. There's no coordinated structure to it, but it's just a byproduct of resting in self. I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to share. But if you stuck around this long, thanks for watching.